My name is Bill Thompson. The name of my company is William M. Thompson Associates Incorporated. My human resources background goes back 30 years or more, starting with the Boeing Company, where I recruited engineers and secretaries, then subsequently joined Schlumberger International Oilfield Services and Electronics Company, based in Houston, Texas, as an HR director, and then subsequently with two bank holding companies, again in HR. I left and formed my own business, William M. Thompson Associates Incorporated, as a management consultant and human resources expert for over 300 companies now. In these 300 companies, normally I work with the president or owner, subsequently the sales manager if I'm helping them with sales and so forth. And sometimes if they have an HR director, of course, I help them behind the scenes. Then there are innocent type mistakes, not malicious, of violating some of the 30 HR laws that are federal, and then there are state laws that they're violating just through naivete, not because of being mean or anything else. When EEOC laws, for example, or other HR laws are violated and they go to court or whatever, ultimately the owner of the company is the one that's held accountable. Usually I've encountered that most companies, practically all of them, don't have a compendium of the human resource laws, and there have been many over the years that have been added to companies' requirements for them to comply with. Almost all my clients do not have complete access or understanding of these HR laws. Normally I find in small businesses that the entrepreneur who created the product or the service is excellent in that capacity, and usually if they're successful, which they are at that point in sales and so forth. Where they need help is as the company grows and they acquire more and more people. As an individual contributor with one or two, that's one thing. But successful, fast growth companies that add quite a number of people run into leadership, management, delegating, motivating, hiring, all those kind of problems, which many of them have no experience in. Supervisors will come to me and say, I've got a problem with their employee. Rarely do they come to me and say everything's going fine, but typically it's motivating them, trying to get them to produce better, attendance problems, attitude problems, and so forth. While there are many companies in the world, some are very successful and profitable, others are struggling, making a profit, and others are on the verge of failing and so forth. But almost without exception, they all have the same problem: managing and leading people, which ultimately help them to be successful. No longer can the owner depend solely on himself or herself to be successful. It's getting these other people that they've acquired to work for them to help them help their company be successful. There's one cardinal rule that's important in training people: verbal doesn't get it. So we always say, get it in writing, hand it out, email, whatever, because verbal doesn't get it. To address these issues and many more that we've talked about, I've compiled several manuals that I'm making available to you all, and it's based on the programs that have been implemented and fine-tuned with over 300 companies. The company toolbox that we call it for the company's success plan is comprised mainly of 3 tools that you can pull out of the toolbox. First of all is a 100-page manual on increasing the profitability, which we assume every company would like to improve. 50 pages on increasing sales and income, approximately 50 pages on reducing expenses, primarily manpower. The second component is 300 pages or so of a turnkey human resource department. Everything but payroll and benefits that you would need to operate a human resource department. And the third component is a book called the Supervision Book, Management Techniques for First-Line Supervisors, and many others. And along with that, a video of one of the 200 seminars I've done based on the book. So it all dovetails well together: the supervision book, the videotape of how to supervise people, the profitability book, and the turnkey human resource department. I found that business owners have one common problem, and that is they never have enough time to get done what they want to get done, particularly if they started out doing all these things themselves. Obviously, they need to delegate and surround themselves with great people so that they can focus on doing the most important things, and as we say, get the highest and best use of their time. When you purchase these programs, absolutely you will have more time to delegate and lead your company and take it to higher levels of success. You'll have increased profitability and success in your company, and it's been proven because it's been installed in 300 companies from California to Maryland, and they've all improved the success of their business by using these tools and techniques. Now, what you should do for your own benefit as well as your employees is get out your credit card and go buy these programs. It's only $400. And as we've mentioned, if you get just one idea from these 500 pages of manuals and so forth that have been installed in 300 companies all over the country, you will more than pay for the $400. If you have any questions, give me a call. Thank you. And I know you're going to be a lot happier and more successful with these programs that will help you achieve your objectives.